joining me today is R Vivekanand, the Global Head of BFSI Products and Platforms. Congratulations on your new role, Vivek.
Thank you.
You're looking
Thank
very
you.
perturbed, so
Am I?
be rest assured this is going to be a fun 30 minutes.
Thank you.
TCS's presence in BFSI is very significant, be it market share, be it
Absolutely.
revenue. Give us a sense about, in this new role, as far as BFSI PNP is concerned, what is your plan? What is your outlook?
Yeah, let me put it this way, right? BFSI is by far our largest business, right? What we can do and what we have the potential to do is to provide a complete end-to-end service in a model in which we are paid by subscription. We are paid annually, right? So it's a very different paradigm. And in some ways, you could say that it is the pinnacle of what you can accomplish as an end-to-end service provider. Right? That is how I would like to say it. That would be the ultimate end-to-end service that you can provide. And where better to do that than BFSI? And that is the future that one would want to reach out to as TCS.
So if you were to look at all the flagship products we have across PNP for that matter, what stands out? Which are the ones that are the heroes, and which are the ones that are to be the future heroes, if you were to say?
Yeah, now you are putting me on a spot because the team would be looking at this, right? See, we are starting with, we have a very strong play in insurance, right? So naturally, that's the backbone on which we are building this whole business. So we will expand. First, within insurance, we need to expand to multiple segments of insurance. Today, we are in life and pension, but we need to expand it to other parts of insurance, property, casualty, health. Then we need to expand globally in that space. Today, we are predominantly in UK and to a lesser extent in the US. So we need to have a platform play that is more global in nature. So these are immediate goals to start on this journey of becoming more global and to have more of our insurance product line in a platform mode. Then of course we would want to do much more on BFSI itself, financial services, capital markets, asset servicing, banking. I mean, the range of what we can do in BFSI is so much. But the starting point would be to expand on our insurance base and become much more global than what we are right now.
What are the broad targets? Like for you in this new role, what are your, say, KPIs that you're going to look at?
The first one is to go global, right? I think to be a lot more global than we are right now. And that naturally will create high growth, right? Definitely we would want to grow higher than company average, if I can put it that way, right? I think that would be a minimum expectation. So that itself is a number that you can look at. We need to grow with high margins. That is an imperative. This is a business in which we can get good top line. The challenge is to get good top line with very good margins. So if we can grow above company average and have very good margins, that would be our initial goal for the next couple of years.
Let's look at the global landscape. Where do we stand in the pecking order? Without giving names, of course.
Yeah, see, I think we are right up there. You could say we are one of the leaders, but then it's a question of how, there is no apple to apple comparison in this, right? We are competing in different segments with different people on the product side. We don't have one single competitor. Our competitors vary completely between banking and capital markets, and just within capital markets it varies. Then in insurance. Then as a platform provider, it varies. So we compete with 15 to 20 different companies, if I may, right? So that makes the comparison really difficult. But when you look at the breadth of what we do, then I would say we are right up there. What we need to work on is the scale, right? Given the kind of capabilities that we have, the products that we have, and the breadth of the offering, the scale to which we can go should be a lot more than what we are today, and that is what I think would be my main goal.
Our management talks a lot about end-to-end play, right? Yes. Where does PNP fit in when you are going to a customer to create that end-to-end play where we are a G&T partner? How does products and platforms fit in? And in this landscape that BFSI is interestingly in right now, if you look at the macro environment, how does that stand?
Fits in 100%, right? Because it is a complete end-to-end play. We are accountable for the final outcome. We are not accountable for delivering a product. We are not accountable for part of IT. We are not accountable for going live. We are accountable for the results after going live. And that is what we are measured by. We are accountable for service levels to the end customer. So it's like every single program is a transformation program. If I can, right? I am not at all exaggerating when I say that. So it's not like what is the percentage of the business that is growth and transformation. Every single thing is. But our customers also expect cost optimization, right? So they expect that as they grow, the cost per transaction, price per policy is falling. So in a sense, they expect optimization. I would not call it conventional cost optimization, but it is there. When Rajesh talks about 2 engines, I sometimes feel like we are a plane with 2 engines. We just need to, take off more often and land more safely.
What are clients saying especially when it comes to investing into critical projects, into P&P kind of deals?
See, I wouldn't say we are sensing a pullback at this point of time, right? There is naturally conversation in every meeting about the uncertainty in the overall environment. It is more the uncertainty, and that drives a lot of parameters. And financial services is in the middle of every industry, right? Everybody needs funding. So there is a certain amount of overhang that is there. That means that I think customers will put more pressure on us. Rather than to say that the deals will go off the table. I think we will be under greater pressure than 2 years back. That's how I would put it. I think it's like one follows the other. The business paradigm in which we are seeing a big shift is on the move to cloud and SaaS, specifically SaaS. So what that means is that we are expected to drive down the annual costs on SaaS. There will be less money that they will put on the table upfront. This is what I feel will become more accentuated because of the larger macroeconomic situation. So they wouldn't mind paying us more 2 years down the road, but they would say, don't give me big upfront costs. So that is the challenge that we need to manage with our customers, because they would want to keep their money with them now. The programs that we do are not necessarily discretionary. They are not discretionary. They are not nice to have programs. They are fundamental to the growth, and I may say fundamental to even the survival of some of our customers. So they cannot make it discretionary. But they will want more innovative financial modeling, which will probably put some pressure on.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the trends that you're seeing. So if you were to look at or just isolate blockchain as a market, or if you were to look at the entire gamut of products and platforms that we have, what are the top trends that you're going to watch for in 2022, 23?
Okay, well, let's talk blockchain first, right? So top trends in blockchain, one will be CBDC. Most countries are, in my view, going to issue some form of centralized digital currency. I think it will happen. The world is moving in that direction. Maybe in 5 years, all of us will have centralized digital currencies in our wallets and have less cash, have more of that. But that's one big trend. Number 2 is NFTs, but in a much more digital and meaningful form, right? Digital art, music, which are 100% digital, which already is today, and which you have a certain kind of right over, and that will become NFTs. Blockchain is the best way to store and distribute it, the most authentic way. It's better for the artists. So I think that will happen. 2 very diverse industries. A little bit more of a technology trend would be coexistence. What that means is that blockchain-based or distributed systems will coexist with current systems, database-driven systems. You cannot create these blockchain-based islands. The systems have to work together. They will coexist. There will be today's core systems. There will be some surrounding solutions that are provided on blockchain, and that's a big thing that we are doing on Quartz. Coexistence is at the core of what we do. So you will have a combination of on-chain and off-chain, and I think that's the only way in which you can increase adoption, and that's what I think will be a very strong part of the architecture of the future. In terms of what all of us would experience as people, I think it would be CBDCs, digital currencies, and NFTs.
And how early would that be? You think that we're ready, the market is kind of ready for it, and that could come in by 2023, 24 kind?
Yes, 2 to 3 years.
Is regulation broadly needed for crypto, if not now, eventually?
Yes, regulation is needed in my view in 2 different ways. One is there has to be enabling regulation. Enabling regulation creates the railroad on top of which you can run the trains, right? So you need that enabling regulation for technology, including blockchain. Just like you need enabling regulation for 5G, you need enabling regulation for the internet. Similar to that, you need enabling regulation for distributed ledger technology. So that's one aspect. That's technology regulation. Then comes the financial regulation, right? How do you regulate something where there is huge volatility? What does it do to your society? What does it do to your country's macro stability? Those are decisions that each central bank has to take for their jurisdiction, and that's a financial regulation aspect. So I think both of these need to go together. I think the world will always be a regulated place. So I think we should all work within that. Innovation will stretch the boundary of regulation, and regulation has to pull it back.
SGX is game changing. It's something that's game changing for the nation. It's very close to the Prime Minister's, the PMO's heart. There's a lot of parties involved in the execution of it.
A lot of pressure.
Lot of pressure. This bit will obviously be cut. But, okay, so from an SGX perspective, give us a sense of how important the GIFT City project is, and tell us a little bit about the work that TCS has done.
See, ours is the main system for bridging this, right? I am using the word bridge very carefully, right? Thus, the participants in the Singapore exchange or the market participants of SGX, their trades are going to move to the GIFT City, and that order management bridge is based on TCS banks. It's based on our solution. So it's the connecting bridge between these two exchanges. Then as a project, it is a landmark project. When you have two such large exchanges, two of the largest in the region, in the eastern part of the world, right, coming together to create an initiative on a highly popular product, then it's a big national initiative, right? The Nifty futures getting traded in India is of course very important for India, and the fact that we are able to create a win-win model is something that I think at a national level both these organizations have done a phenomenal job. For us, it's a great initiative to be part of, right, on both sides, both from an SGX Singapore perspective and from a national perspective. So it's good to take that kind of pressure, right? It's good to take pressure on a project like this, which is of importance, and which also brings out the best of what TCS can do.
Exactly.
Right? Not everybody can take this kind of pressure and deliver on time. We are prepared for high volumes. Let me put it that way, right? We can handle the capacity. In the stock exchange business, it's a combination of volumes, low latency, and you have to provide a different kind of performance characteristic for algorithmic trading. So it's a combination of many things that define high performance, and that has to come with pretty much 100% availability, right? It cannot go down, right? So it's a very sophisticated balance that you need to reach. And I think that's the balance that you need to strike. It's a little bit like a Formula 1 car, right? You have to drive at that speed, but you cannot crash it. Right? You have to still drive safely, but you can't drive slow. So it's like that. So you have to have 100% availability. You have to have high performance and low latency. So that's the combination of things that we are cooking up together.
So it's sort of like the perfect balance.
You need to get it.
Okay, so this is something that's very close to your heart. I remember talking a few months ago, and I was surprised when you told me that we are actually one of the leaders when it comes to market exchanges globally, not just in India. Tell me how, give me a sense of the kind of work that TCS has done. And if you look at the overall global pecking orders, as independent players, we are actually the largest. Give me color on that.
We are the largest independent player. We compete with stock exchanges. We don't compete with IT companies. which is very, very different. That means you are competing with the industry. So in a sense, that also means that in a small way, you have to get plugged into the industry itself, otherwise you cannot compete. You cannot be a software provider alone and compete when your competitor is actually a stock exchange. So that's the nature of what we do. But I think it's a space in which we have made a huge global impact in my view. I would say that in all humility, I would still say that, right? Because we are in more than 30 countries. No one can buy or sell a single share in those countries without TCS software. So how powerful is that? We are in the 3 largest markets in Africa.
Okay.
Those 3 markets combined are more than 99.5% of Africa's trading volume. So that's what? That's all of Africa. Pretty much. Right? So we are in so many large mission critical organizations. We are in Euroclear, we are at LCH. So we are in the biggest markets of the world, and we are at the center of their capital market.
Yeah. Where do you think we have played a critical role in this, Digital India campaign?
See, over the last 25 years, if you would ask me, right? I think TCS has played the role of a catalyst. It's we are not the bank, we are not the stock exchange, we are not the clearing company. We are the one thing that has been common to most of these players.
True.
So we have been the catalyst. Our solutions have been the catalyst. Our ability to deliver these projects, our ability to put our hand up for these projects, that has been the catalyst. So I think we have played a catalytical role in the transformation of India's markets itself, the financial industry, and I think we should be more recognized for that. Yeah.
What is next in the country?
UPI type of innovation and many other financial products.
Okay.
That's definitely next. Right. See, we are a hugely innovative nation. We tend to undermine that in the name of Jugaad. No, actually,
it is true.
We are hugely innovative.
Yeah.
All kinds of people embrace technology and innovation in our country without even thinking about it, without making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
That is why UPI is a success. It's because of how Indians embrace technology. Right? Otherwise, they would still be using cash.
Correct.
Right? Now, I would think that people would buy insurance the same way. People are already buying stocks on the fly, right? People would buy insurance on the fly. You would buy insurance when you are in the airport. You would buy insurance when you are embarking on your journey. We will buy insurance based on how much we drive our cars. So I think it will have that kind of an instant buy capability, which we all will need. We already need that. We don't have that today. Right? So I think it will become as easy to buy insurance as what it is to make a payment today. I think that is one single element which we will all see in the future.
So you know the rules. I'll ask you a question. You say the first thing that comes to your mind, and it has to be, as the word says, rapid. My first question: your very first TCS memory.
My very first TCS memory is walking into TCS in a white T-shirt and denim, with sneakers, and pretty much getting my job the same day.
Oh, really?
That's my memory of TCS. I walked in, I didn't realize I would get interviewed that day, and will be told that I will get a job offer that day. In fact, that's why I joined TCS.
Okay.
The fact that they were willing to interview me in a jeans and t-shirt.
Fill in the blank. When you are not working, you are?
Sleeping. No, that is just a bad answer. That means I don't do anything.
But that's the correct answer then, perhaps.
No, I am watching sports or sleeping.
Okay.
Reading, sleeping, or sports or working.
That's good enough. In an alternate universe or in an alternate dimension, you know about the multiverses and all of that, right? So in an alternate universe, you would be?
Myself, but I would bat like Tendulkar.
Okay.
But I would be myself.
Yeah. If not in tech, what career would you have chosen? Or if not in TCS?
Cricket. All the time. I would have wanted to play cricket.
Do you still play cricket?
Not anymore. I think I've passed that.
But?
No, I play
Not
a little bit on
autos.
the street. I go and talk to kids who play cricket. I talk to their mothers to ask them to play cricket. I do that. I go to my former club and they ask me once in a while to come and meet mothers so that mothers don't pull their sons out of the game. And I tell them don't pull them out of the game because playing cricket doesn't mean you don't make it.
Yeah. Favorite food?
Italian.
Favorite male actor?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Favorite female?
No, but it doesn't stop there. Kamal Hassan, I have to add to it, and Al Pacino.
And Al Pacino?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I watched every single Kamal Hassan movie. So I cannot not put him up there. But Al Pacino, yes. What style? How can you not think Al Pacino?
I agree. Favorite actress?
Favorite actress? Aishwarya Rai. Madhuri Dixit.
The quintessential. Okay.
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
Who is the most interesting person you've ever met?
Oh, this is a tough one.
I know
This one you are putting me on a spot. I'm not going to give anybody I know. Right? I'm not going to give. Most interesting person I have met. Vivian Richard.
You met him?
Yes.
Wow. And?
And I shocked him by how much I adored him, and I just explored him. I think he was surprised. I met him a few years back. In his prime, I wouldn't have been able to meet him, but I had met him in a Chennai test match then also.
Okay.
But the most interesting person, yes, Vivian Richard.
What would be harder for you to give up? Tea, coffee, or alcohol?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee,
yeah.
Because I started drinking it before I started drinking alcohol. It's what even my grandmother made me drink. So, coffee I can't give up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a futuristic tech that might never exist but you really want to see it?
There are a lot of things. I wish we would have technology in which we travel faster.
Yeah.
I don't like to spend time in planes.
Make airports, no, yeah, Vivek. Let's do that.
We should go to space and descend where we need to go. Poof, poof. That's
agree.
it. Not waste time going horizontal.
Okay, so on that futuristic note, thank you so much for excellent conversation. I think one of the best interviews that I have seen you have and I have had in my career. Thank you so much for talking to us. So that was a very fun, candid conversation with R Vivekanand in his candid best, possibly. Thank you so much for watching this episode of TCS Conversations.